Hey again, everybody. So today's video is a little bit of a two-parter. I have two things that I'm going to read out. And obviously the first one you just saw, the quote from Epictetus, that what upsets people is not things themselves, but their judgments about these things. And then the title of the video is Everything is External to the Self. And I got thinking about this stuff because this is kind of a topic that I feel that I would have explored more of in the earlier stages of this channel last year. And because that was when I was a lot more into Greek philosophers and Stoicism and all that stuff. But recently, well, actually just today, I had revisited an old Stoicism themed podcast that I used to listen to a lot about 2 years ago, and I just listened to his most recent episode, and the episode was about Meditation 4 from Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. And in that meditation, I don't remember exactly what it was on, but it was something to the effect that our bodies are vessels here, and that no matter what happens to that, like the metaphor was that there's a earthly container or like a pot or some kind of physical thing that is made up of all the same stuff that like our minds and our souls is made up from, because we're all from the universe. It was kind of a complicated metaphor, but it was saying that no matter what is put into that vessel or is put into that container, the container is as it is. It doesn't really care what's being put into it. It just is. And so in a way that was also kind of relating to this, that everything that we experience is outside of ourself, and ourself or our ego is really the only solid thing for our own lived experience that remains relatively the same. That everything else is going on outside of us, but it's up to us of what that makes us do or how that makes us feel. And so that's what Epictetus is also saying here, that what upsets people is not the thing itself. It's not the physical thing that is upsetting them. It is their choice to be judgmental or their choice to be upset because of that thing. And so this will bring me to this second thing that I want to read. And there's a famous reading of this. I think it's Sir Michael Caine reads this. There's a great YouTube video of him reading this. It's called If by Kipling, by Rudyard Kipling. It's a poem, so I'm going to read that for you now. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or be lied about, don't deal in lies, or be hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster, and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings, and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute, with 60 seconds worth of distance run. Yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. So this is a great poem. I only like I found this maybe a couple months ago, and I was kind of shocked that I'd never seen it before. It's very, very powerful. And this is getting at kind of just the main idea here, that if we can keep our heads about us and if we can hold on to our own morals and our own virtues, no matter what the noise is, and if we can kind of block out what all the external things are, that we can really do anything, because then there's nothing external that's holding ourselves back. It's only the internal that may be causing us doubt. But if that's internal, that's within your control. And so this is a thing that I am trying very hard to bring into my everyday life, because there are people that I disagree with and people that I know that disagree with me, and there's going to be people that are, going to be upset no matter what. You can't please everybody. And so having poetry and having quotes like this are a good reminder that it's all external, and that as long as I don't let that into the sanctuary of myself, I can't be hurt. And I think that this is a thing that's needed quite a bit nowadays, and that these very old thoughts, these very ancient quotes, are more applicable now more than ever. And it's funny because I grew up being told this. I grew up being told, like, oh yeah, well, this is from thousands of years ago. And I thought, like who cares? Like, I want to know what people are speaking about now, which is why when I first was getting into um, philosophy, I was getting more into modern day writers and getting more into Alan Watts, and kind of just more closer to my time thinkers. But you can only think the same thing in so many different ways, right? And so a lot of teachings or ideas that you hear, there's a pretty solid through line that goes through everything from ancient Greek philosophers to modern day writers and thinkers. And so it's just very cool to kind of see that as human beings, we've had these same thoughts consistently over and over again. And, it just kind of adds to the credibility there and how true that they really are. So, yeah, just thought this was a cool poem and a cool way to think. And not that there's really a whole lot of things that I have going on right now that are causing me a ton of stress, where I feel that I need to, completely like separate myself from my external environment. But that, there are those things every little while where you see something on social media, or a friend has a certain opinion about something and you heavily disagree with it, and like you want to say something, and you want to prove them wrong, but like they can have that, and then it's not really up to me to change that. So yeah, but I hope we can all continue to think and experience these things together. And I have comments from you guys all the time asking about a Discord, or some kind of thing where we can chat. And I have thought about a Discord before, but I kind of like not having that stress, especially just being in school and stuff. But I do think it might be a fun idea to do some kind of Google form where you guys could submit things that you want me to research, or, submit a specific issue that you have, and I can share my own thoughts on it. And probably someday we will have some kind of Discord or some kind of communal thing where we can all chat. But I think for right now, it's not quite that time. So, yeah, but thank you guys for continuing to listen to me just think out loud. And we just hit 800 subs yesterday or today, and it's pretty cool. It's funny how just this whole thing, started from me being kind of ruined after a breakup and just needing a place to put my thoughts out and express how I was feeling and all that stuff. And then now it's turned into kind of a journal that I just get to put my thoughts into every week or however often that I have these thoughts. So I appreciate that all of you think similarly and that we can all share our experiences together. So that's all I have for you for today. I'll see you in the next one.